11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's up, everybody, and welcome on into a very uplifting and happy Put in the Book show, season 7, episode number 21. A little lucky number 21, maybe a little bit more luck for this following series, maybe.
I'm quite proud. You said something. I wasn't listening.
Oh, wow.
Why
All
are you saying wow? This is a surprise to you?
Surprising. It's not surprising. All right, so I'm Steve. As always, I got Mr. Keith right on over here. What's going on, sir? How you doing? How's it hanging?
Doing good, man. After yesterday's win, I am feeling good. The whole day's been better than most days in a long time, even through that 9-game winning streak. And happy to be doing the show tonight.
Yes, sir. All right. And right down here is Mr. Rodriguez. What's going on, my friend?
Like Mr. Laris said, can't get any better than being 80 and 64. Didn't think we'd get there. That's for sure. So I'm a happy camper, especially after Mr. Puerto Rico winning the game the other day.
Let's go.
Or tying it up. Let's just say. Clutch.
He's not clutch. He's not an all-star. He's not any of that stuff. Again, I don't know what the process is here, but we're missing a producer. There's nobody knocking on the wall behind you.
No, but
I don't know who's proving all this shit.
I gotta tell you, that exterminator really worked. I mean, he got him out, and he hasn't been back for a week. So
that's excellent. That is excellent. I like it. And he's in Filth Town.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be a brave soldier. He's gonna wear Mets gear to the game tomorrow. If he can make it out there.
He's got balls of a hamster. He won't wear any Met jersey. If he does, he'll make sure he has a woman with him so he doesn't get it.
It gets rough. I went to Philadelphia, the old stadium. What was it? The Vet. What was their old stadium? Yeah, the Vet. The Met many moons ago, and I wore a Met jersey, and it's rough, and at times you think,
hey, and you're a big dude. You're not exactly a dude that people want to mess with.
But I can't take on 4 or 5 of them.
You cannot. But
same thing in Boston. I went to first interleague game Mets versus Boston when I think they balked to run home. Was it Brian McRae? I don't know. I don't want to get too into details.
Brian McRae.
What it was, right?
No,
I think, what's the guy's name? Gilkey was the lefty. Anyway, I totally lost track. But yeah, it was the same thing when I was up there too. The fans were rough once I had my Met jersey on.
You know what? I went to Fenway once, and they were very friendly to me. Maybe I was around a bunch of guys that just hated the Yankees, so we
and I was in the lower right field with all the drunks, so
very drunk people. All right, so when we come back after this wonderfully produced opening video, we're going to talk about what's going on with the Mets. They won 13 out of the last 15 games, got a huge series coming up in Philadelphia, and we'll get to that, and then we'll talk a little excitement from yesterday's game in Toronto. Went from like, holy shit, is this really going to happen, to yeah, let's go. See you on the other side.
Put up the bullets!
All right, people, welcome on back in. George says just win. That's it. That's all we got to do.
Right, G, tell him.
Before we start off on talking current Mets, we obviously we lost a member of the crew. Ed Kranepool passed away. The original Met, lifetime Met, 62 to 79. World Series champion, two-time World Series participant. So a cheers, a toast to Eddie Kranepool. Howie Rose has been doing the rounds all across the country talking about him. So it's nice that his honor talked about the country, just in Metsville.
Yeah, well, he's well deserved, man. He's an original Met, basically. 17-year-old kid came up and stayed with the Mets for a lot of years.
17.
A few years more than he should have.
Yeah,
let's just say his talent left him a couple of years before he retired. But when you have someone like that who's an icon and who's been around that long and can speak for your team and your organization, and he didn't speak for our organization for a few minutes. Remember that he had a little bit of a beef with them because we had a pretty bad organization at the time. But someone like that,
honest, the 1970s and even into the early 80s until Doubleday and Wilpon, which we grew to dislike, but until they came in, the old management and ownership was really bad. I forget the name of the book I read many years ago that kind of walked you through that. I got to dig that up. Really good book. But walks you from the creation of the Mets all the way up until that 70s era. And it was brutal, man. I mean,
the poor guy.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Those after 73. I mean, even 73, it was a 500 ball club.
Yeah.
But those are the Mets that we love. They've been through the worst of times, and we joke about it, but it's like once a decade at least we're going through the worst of times, and it's those guys, who like managers like Terry Collins went through that nonsense, right? With no talent, and then he got to the World Series. So these are guys who pay their dues and then get to the dance. Bohan says need a 9-7 finish minimum to get into the dance. Yeah. But let's go through this though here.
Okay.
Let's get to some Metsies. But before we get into what's going on starting tomorrow, let's take a quick look at what happened yesterday so we can get nice and excited and amped up. Just to let everybody know, I sent out an SOS call to Keith in our group chat. Put the jinx, get the jinx ready, do it now, make it happen, because the Mets were getting no hit, and to get no hit at this point of the season would have been a really deflating, depleting, demoralizing loss. But then, not an all-star came to bat.
Run to end it. That's driven to deep right field, and a home run ends this no-hit bid. Linsanity! Francisco Lindor ties the game with a ninth-inning home run. As big a hit as the Mets have had all season. Francisco Lindor breaks up the no-hit bid and the shutout, and he ties the game with his 31st home run of the year, and it's 1-1 in the ninth.
He's the eighth man up in the inning, 2 out and 2 on. And Alvarez slams one to deep center field. Varsho back, takes a look, and it's out of here. Francisco Alvarez brings the hammer down with a 3-run homer. Alvarez on the first pitch thrown by Cabrera. It's his 7th home run of the year, and the Mets have scored 6 times in the ninth. They've blown it open. It's 6-1. Lindor started it with a home run, and Alvarez.
Can you just play that on a loop for the whole show?
I left that last part on because I wanted to show the dejected faces of the Blue Jays. But as clutch can be, Rodriguez, Lindor just continues to make it happen, whether it's at the plate, in the field, and then all the people who said that he wasn't very clutch. It feels like people should be apologizing. All these apologists are coming out. But Rodriguez, this guy, crazy. And then Alvarez comes up, nailed it, like hit the ball on the head. Couldn't have hit it any harder. Let's go.
Listen, Alvarez needed that more than the Mets needed that, to be honest with you. Okay, because the kid has been struggling. He has all that power, but he's just swinging at stuff outside of the plate. He's doing a little Pete thing. He's doing a polar bear thing where he thinks he can hit everything and he can hit everything hard. And everyone has a weakness. And you know what? If you don't shift your feet and you don't plant the right way to hit the ball to the opposite field, you're not going to, kid. But you're a kid and you're learning how to play, and you have coaches for that to get you out of that. That your talent is there, so Alvarez is always going to play. He's a fantastic young hitter, and he has his whole future ahead of him. But it was wonderful to see him do that, and it was nice to see the catcher on the other side looking at really, really dejected. But Alvarez doesn't get to do that unless Lindor is focused and understands what might be coming at him, and just has a quick enough bat. Because you got to remember, a lot of times when you watch Lindor in the beginning, his bat looked a little slow in the first couple of months, okay? Now it's lightning. For him to get on top of a 92, 93 mile an hour fastball, was it that fast, the high one?
I thought it was 96 or 98 that I saw up there.
Even more, dude. To get on top of that ball and be able to drive it out of the park like a missile like he did, you have phenomenal bat speed, and you kind of know what you're doing because you're waiting for a certain pitch. All right. He knew that they were trying to get him to go up. So the pitch that he hit wasn't at the right level, because that pitch is up another 2 or 3 inches, maybe even 4 inches. It gets by him and he can't do anything with it. It's a pop up or it's a strikeout. But the fact that he was able to do that and come through, and actually everyone understood that, the whole team, when they saw him hit it, they knew that their captain, that their leader, the guy that's driving them towards the playoff, is not giving up. So if he's not giving up, that means everyone else has got to just put the big boy pants on and try even harder. And that's what they do, and that's what they've been doing. Another reason why they're winning. So you got to give them all the respect in the world. That was a huge clutch hit. Maybe his biggest clutch hit as a Met so far, because we really needed to win last night.
And the lineup needed it. You've been struggling, not getting the big hits, getting on base, but not getting big hits. And then, of course, you're 8 innings into a no-hitter. It's like, damn, is this going to happen now? It's going to no-hit, and then really going into the Phillies series, because that's a huge difference also, because you win that game, you win the series, you don't get no-hit, and you don't go into the Phillies series feeling like
a loser,
jackasses. Keith. And then on the flip side of this, the pitching staff, the pen, Diaz comes in for a one pitch save, so he's all good, fresh, ready to go for this Philly series. But it's the pitching staff has kept us in. Quintana's last 3 starts, he's coming kind of back to life again, and we're gonna need him because he starts that series against the Phillies tomorrow. But talk about. I know I flipped this to what I normally do, but talk about the pitching, the pen. Bringing us to where we need to be.
Yeah, I gotta say that first of all, Mendy's handling of the bullpen has been really good. Of course, I can argue a lot of things. Like a couple times he brought in Diaz. I didn't think he should have been brought in, but he's the manager and he's doing a great job. So I normally just kind of keep that to my own thoughts, except for this particular time. But the pen, when they've been put out there, they're performing. I mean, they're performing. And I think really what's key is in the last month, 2 months, especially since they're saying now May 30th, we have the best record in baseball. I don't know why they backed it up a day or two, but through that streak, our pitching staff has been extended and then extended and then extended. You don't really see 5-inning starts too often. The normal is more 6 1/3, 6 2/3, a couple times 7, even once Severino threw that complete game. I think that's really key to not overextending the arms in the bullpen, keeping them fresh, and they're performing better because of it. The pitchers, I mean, Minaya, who expected this? And then he came out, I don't know if it was a real quote, it was one of those SNY memes. He was saying he'd be more than happy to come back. So there's a vibe on this team right now, and there's an energy. And I know it sounds like, like it's not logical, but the truth of the matter is when players in the team start performing well, other players try to keep up with them, and they constantly it's a little competition amongst themselves in the dugout and the locker room, and I think that's what's happening right now with the starting staff. They're pitching a little longer, everybody's going a little longer, everybody's going with less and less runs. I think our ERA since May is like a little over 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, just north.
I mean, that's amazing, right? In the beginning of the year, who would have thought when we looked at the staff that we'd be here praising the staff?
Not a lot of people.
No, and let's be
honest.
A lot
of naysayers out there that back then.
If you look at the offense towards the end of that 9-game winning streak, and even through Toronto, it's been lackluster. They miss a lot of opportunities. They're winning on 4 hits, 5 hits. And we can't do that down the stretch right now. And that 9th inning in Toronto going into Philadelphia, where the Mets historically hit really well, and bringing that sort of energy into that park, I think it's going to be a really exciting weekend. It's going to be playoff style baseball.
Yeah, F them. Rodriguez, I want to back up back to you just a bit and just ask you, Peterson's start in the middle game of the series, do you think it's a one-off, or do you think he's falling back into some of his habits and we should be a little concerned going forward? What's your opinion?
Yeah, it's a really good question in a way, because we don't have the trust in him just yet, even though he's been performing very well. And he's been pitching.
We still have it in the back of our heads.
It's still in the back of our heads how his history. You can't forget history, and players always play to their history, right? That's what an average year is. You're playing to your history. So Peterson, I think he's changed his history this year, where he's become a more dominant pitcher in the sense where he's more confident. I don't think his stuff is that much better, if anything. Of course, he's locating it better. Of course, he's pitching aggressively, which by that means that he's coming after hitters. He's staying in the strike zone more. Even if it gets hit, he's staying around the strike zone. So once you're around the strike zone, the umpires start giving you a little bit of respect. So when you get that corner pitch, you throw that corner pitch, you're going to get that strike. Even if it's out of the box or the robot umpires don't like it, what's going to happen is that he's going to get that strike, because it's all in your history. Why did Greg Maddux, Glavine, and these guys get their strikes? Because their history was their strike throwers. So if he becomes that type of player with the stuff that he has, he's gonna do well. I'm hoping it's a one-off. We'll know at the next start, because it's all about getting yourself fixed and coming back to your next start a little bit stronger. I'm hoping that he does it. At the end of the day, I have confidence in our management that if he starts to fail again, that there'll be a swift change in his status. So that's always very helpful. I'm hoping it's just a one-off, and he was due, dude. I mean, he was due. He was 9-1. I mean, the kid was doing very well. Had a low ERA. He was due. So let's just throw, even if he has 2 bad games in a row, we don't need that right now because we're in the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
But I would be able to understand it. So his focus level has to go up, because we can't lose anymore. And no matter what anybody says, we cannot lose any more, especially going to Philly.
Rodriguez is being a little soft on him right now, and the reason why is because Rodriguez and I are playing each other in the fantasy baseball playoffs, and he chooses this week to have that start. and
well, look at it this way: am I a Met fan or am I a Met fan? Because honestly, I have the guy that was no hitting us. I could have been. I know. In my mind, I'm thinking to myself, I hope he breaks his arm. I was honestly saying, I don't care about a stupid fantasy. I want the next strike he throws, his arm to snap off, and I want a Met to get hit and somebody to score a run. I didn't care, So I don't care about fantasy, but I'm glad that Robinson didn't do well.
Listen. You know who's coming up, but here's the big test. I've had Jacob deGrom on my injured list all year, and he's coming off the injured list to face you, Rodriguez, tomorrow. He'll probably go like 4 innings, have like 12 strikeouts, get a no decision.
Another reason why I hate you.
He'll get pulled in the fourth with a hammy pull.
Man,
listen.
he's gonna fall. He's gonna fall on the mound and slip and pull a disc and have a herniated disc, and he'll have to get fusion and he'll have to retire because he's a traitor. He's a traitor. That's not a cross on his head. That's a traitor.
You know, back to David Peterson real quick. You know, he also went up against Bassett. Anytime we played him, I think the third time.
The Mets were up against
third time we played him. I got to look at the stats, but I feel like he plays like vendetta level baseball against us. He just, you know, like he's like, I'm gonna kick your ass, Mets. You know,
Pete.
The way Bassett pitches with his over the top thing, it's really difficult to gauge that on every pitch, especially if he throws the way he throws. He doesn't throw that hard. He throws 92, 93 at the most, and all his pitches are at that speed and over the top. I can tell you from experience, it's hard to hit a guy like that.
Yeah, he's a really hard pitcher. I enjoyed him as a Met. I don't have any ill will against him unless he plays us and beats us, and he can go.
He went out there every start. They pitched well.
He did his thing, but he did his thing for us. But Toronto's not helping him.
Real quick, curveball question, Farace. How many wins do you think it's going to take for us to make sure we're locked into a playoff spot?
I like 91.
Rodriguez?
I was gonna say I like what Bohan said, but I'm gonna bump it up by 2. 91.
Yeah. Well, like when you said the word locks, Keith, I agree with Farace. I'm gonna say over 90 for sure to get us to be a lock into the playoffs. I think the other two teams will just hurt themselves. I think you got Arizona and the Padres playing each other right at the end of the year, so they're gonna knock themselves. They're gonna hurt themselves. So if we get to 90, I think those guys will be we'll probably get to 88, maybe 80, 89.
If we can get at least 7 wins in these next 10 divisional games, Braves and Phillies. I think we
got the Nationals too that we could whoop up on. See, now we're noticed. No, what I'm saying is that this year some differences is that this season we're not losing to the when I said I was a little fearful of the White Sox series. I was a little fearful of the White Sox series because you never know. Ball bounces this way or that way, and you just don't know. And this year, at this point in time, that's not happened, but it has happened to the Braves. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Nationals. So the Mets are doing the opposite of what they've done in the past, is what I'm saying. And then I also had wanted to pose this question to you, fine fellas, and anybody in the chat. 2 years ago, the Mets won 101 games, right?
2022, yeah.
So that's 2 years ago. This year, I am very confident in saying I am more confident in this Mets team in this next 2 weeks down the stretch than that team. I remember, we won 101 games, but our Scherzer and Bassett got lit up in Atlanta. Remember that? I don't remember who else got lit up in Atlanta. And then it was like a bad feeling. It was like a bad feeling. The 101 win team, but it was like, all right, we're struggling down the stretch. And then what happened against the Padres. So for me, at least, I'm feeling a little bit more confident that this team is playing well consistently, which is what we've been preaching and begging for since the end of May. And it's not this guy's going to the IL and this guy's doing this and this guy's doing that. We're actually looking forward to Kodai Senga coming back, and they're very optimistic about it. Knock on wood of him coming back during that Brave series. So just curious as to what you guys, Rodriguez, are more confident in this team down the stretch or that 101 win team a couple years ago?
Well, you don't get to 101 wins without being consistent during the year and without being a strong team. With that being said, what you just said, last sentence was down the stretch, People were getting hurt, people were getting lit up, the team was faltering. So you don't want to be a 100 win team, and in October you're kind of like losing, every other game and stuff. Like you want to come in strong, like we're coming in right now. We're much better. We're much better team because we're strong now. Everyone is healthy. We're getting back an all-star pitcher within hopefully within a week or two to come help us. It's a totally different, like one of you guys said, vibe. I think Keith said vibe. It's a totally different vibe now where you're more confident. The players are performing better, even though our offense has been stagnant a little bit. We still are performing as a much better team. We're coming in strong. We have that vibe of we don't want to lose. We're not that 101 team. Didn't have that vibe at the end of the season. They had it at the beginning, and we all crowed, and we were like, "Yay, we're the best. We're tough with this." But what matters is how you finish. It doesn't matter. This year proves to us that it doesn't matter how we start. What matters is how you finish. So I'm definitely more confident in this team that I think can progress farther in the playoffs because I'm seeing them be that team now. I'm seeing them perform. I'm seeing them say we're not going to lose, and we're going to be that team that's just going to scare the crap out of whoever is that 95-win team. They don't want to play us. They don't.
Stupid Dodgers, stupid Otani.
Look at Cornet pulling up
Cornet. I wanted to bring that up. Bassett versus the Mets, 13 and 2/3 innings, a .66 ERA, .73 WHIP. So he definitely owns us, and he pitched well for us.
He's hard to hit, dude. He's hard to hit, man.
That over the top, the curveball, especially from the right side, it looks like it's going to come out 7 feet above it.
You just can't judge. It's hard to judge. It's hard to gauge it. When I played, I had a guy on the Cardinals that threw over the top. I could not hit him. I'd go 0 for 4 every single time. Every single time. It was like the worst day I would have when I played when I batted against that guy. So I get it.
It's rough. Keith, so just what I asked before, more confident in this team or that team, and then we'll start with that, and then I have a question for you right afterwards.
I think I'm more confident in this team, even though that team was 101 wins. When, like Rodrigo was saying, it's how hot you are down the stretch. Down the stretch, Scherzer was looking not great. I think Verlander was even playing. I think he might have been hurt. DeGrom.
Oh, we didn't have Verlander.
Verlander wasn't with us.
Verlander came in last year. Verlander was 1 year.
It was our pitching that year to me that scared me down the stretch because they just started looking weak and tired and old, and they were. And this year it's a continuing trend of getting stronger as the season goes.
Upwards trend. Yeah,
you're right.
When the Braves won, they were having a terrible year, and all of a sudden they just got hot and steamrolled.
The Nationals, when they won, their bullpen ERA was like 7.
Yeah, and they just got hot, and
they won.
And we're hot. I mean,
go figure.
Like you said, nobody wants to face it right now. In the meantime, we're like, oh crap, the Phillies 7 game, but that's because we understand that they're also good teams. But truthfully, we're a little stronger right now, in my opinion. I think the Phillies are struggling a little bit. I was looking at some of the team stats with their pitching.
They've been struggling, generally speaking, in the second half. Both them and the Yankees were 40 games or so over 500. Now they're both Phillies only 18 games over 500. So I say only. I didn't mean only as in only. 18 games over is a lot, but
only's fair because we're 14 games over 500.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They're 30 games over 500.
Oh my God, 30.
So they've had an 18-game dip since the All-Star break.
Fake news.
That's right. Sorry. My apologies to Brian Hom.
Don't.
All right. And then the other question I have for you guys. At the beginning of the year, both of you guys had the Mets making the playoffs, so maybe this isn't gonna go too well here. But I'll say for me, I had the Mets not making the playoffs. I had them winning 86 games, which we're going to be close. We're going to be close. Go over that on that. But now for me, even though I did not pick the Mets to make the playoffs, it is going to be a disappointing season if the Mets don't make the playoffs. And before I forget,
DeGrom.
Mr. Scherzer, you and your stupid little press conference last year about why you did your little no trade clause because the Mets were punting this year and they weren't going to contend this year. And where are your Rangers at this year? Where are my Mets at this year?
Sit down, punk.
But didn't the Mets say that though?
I don't know.
That was the whole point. They said that to him. That's kind of why.
Stop defending Max Scherzer.
It's not defending him. It's just the truth is the truth. I'm glad he's gone because he's had a horrible year and he was getting worse. But not what they told him. You're mad at him for what they told him. That's okay.
So he had Scherzer. That's just him saying he had no belief in our system. He had no belief in the kids. He had no belief in Vientos because, God forbid, Vientos is hitting 26 home runs. With Max Scherzer's out there as a starting pitcher, right?
I said that. Kept telling you guys.
Eat it, Scherzer.
Eat it.
All right.
Fuck at him later, Keith. Fuck at him later.
Dude, you gotta start getting that together.
Don't forget.
But we want to focus on Bryce Harper, maybe. All right, let's get into what's going to be happening here. Starting tomorrow night, Mets, Phillies. It's on. It's on, baby. So tomorrow, Philadelphia has 2 games where they don't have their pitcher set yet. We're not getting Wheeler because Wheeler
they can't pitch Wheeler.
Game. Yeah.
Yep.
He's get out of here. I want Wheeler. Bring it on.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm ready. I'm ready. We got Spider-Man on our side.
Don't say crazy things.
We'll put up a 7 spell. We'll treat him like the Marlins treating Tom Glavine in 07.
I would love it.
All right. Tomorrow night, Quintana, who's come on a bit. I'm a little nervous because of the bandbox that you got down there in Philadelphia.
I wish we were at home.
Him hanging a thing or two. Well, we got the 4-game series at home, so that's a good thing. Quintana versus Aaron Nola, who's having a nice rebound season. He's 12-7, 3.41 ERA.
We hit him down.
We did, yes. We did. 8-9 for Quintana, 4.09 ERA. Saturday, 4:05. Is this going to be the? Not sure if that's the. Oh wait. That's the following. So let's pause real quick because they talked about this on SNY and Gary kind of was. You can hear that he was a little pissed off, but he wasn't getting really angry about it. But the next Phillies series, the 4-game set, Thursdays on Fox. Why do we have Thursday night Fox baseball versus they're going to go up against NFL? I don't know how smart that is, but okay. Friday is the Apple TV game. Saturday is SNY or Picks, and then Sunday is ESPN. The fans don't. I get, and we should be proud that we're on national TV as much as we're going to be. But the fans want Gary, Keith, and Ron calling this game. So, is this like something that might be in their minds that I mentioned, where they do like a Manning cast, where they get together, maybe even at the booth, and they watch the game on the big screen in center field?
No,
or in a living room somewhere where they sit down, they're watching the game, and we watch and we get to listen to our guys.
I know we all feel the same, but the truth of the matter is money talks, bullshit walks. These networks pay big money for that contract, and that would be contradictory of that contract to air that game and steal potential Met fans away, because probably any Met fan has the ability to watch that will go there. And let's say it's half the Met fans, it's going to pull away from the ratings for that big game, and MLB will not allow it.
Bohans has exclusive rights to the other network. What about if they don't show the actual game and it's just Keith Ron and Gary.
Oh, do like
I don't know why I said in that weird order.
TV and I
You
was
see me?
turning on
I
the
paused
radio
when I
station
said
to hear-
Keith. I had no idea where I was going with it. Who's after Keith? Oh, Gary, Keith, and Ron.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I would turn the TV down sometimes just so I could hear the Murph call the game.
Yeah. And then now finally after all these years, they actually put it on the MLB app where you can sync up.
If we're
They
on
sync it up
national
for
TV, we're doing well. So
Exactly.
I won't even bother thinking about the other stuff to piss me off because I, like everyone, all Met fans, we all know we want Gary, Keith, and Ron there. So
Just on social media, just do it on social media.
why don't we do it? Why don't we do that?
We should do one.
We can do that. We can do that. We can do a game just like
MLB's
they do
gonna
on
come after
Moneycast.
us.
Who?
MLB's going to come after.
After
Bohan says,
us?
don't think
Yeah,
I'll fly.
as long as
Keith
we're not
already has
calling
dinner
it and we're
reservations.
commentating on it, that's fine. Because when we tried to call a game one time, it was a major fail.
No, we're not calling a game.
Yeah.
We're just gonna talk about the game.
Yeah, like the Manning
He
cast,
already had dinner
Like the
reservations.
Moneycast, 100%.
which is fantastic. All right, and then so that's the Saturday game. Severino goes for us, 3.74 ERA, 10-6. Making a case to potentially get re-signed both him and Manaea.
The case has been made.
Yeah.
Okay. The
Throw-
case has
you
been
throw a
made.
complete game shutout. The Sunday night game.
This off season, but a lot of people, right to Rodriguez's point, made the case to get some money from Uncle Stevie.
And then
Just get re-signed.
getting ahead, you get Senga and just money bags, baby. Corbin, Burns, and then you get Severino and Manaea and Peterson as your number 5. Wow. All right, Sunday afternoon game.
But we're gonna have a
I'm
six-man
dreaming.
staff. We're gonna
I'm
have a
dreaming,
six-man staff, by the way. We're not
Do
going.
you know
with
why? One of the big reasons, and I don't think it's really talked about much. I'm sure we've mentioned it probably a few times, but one of the reasons why we're so good this year is the depth. So we need more pitching beyond the 5 you just mentioned too. Even though the 5 you just mentioned is amazing, like Spider-Man, but we definitely need depth. And the reason why we're doing so well this year is depth. Aside from DJ Stewart, the bench has been super strong.
He's the only guy who's not contributed to this team.
I think Keith needs somebody to hate because he is a Met fan after all. He needs somebody to abuse, and he doesn't have anybody right now.
I might as well hate the last guy.
Odd man out is DJ, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty. Even DJ Stewart's been getting some walks and all that, but who cares about that? When he comes up, it's like an auto out.
We don't have a starting pitcher set for Sunday. I don't know if that's going to be McGill. I don't know if I know what's his name. Blackburn went back for imaging, but he said he's feeling better. And I don't know. That's another thing. I picked up Blackburn, as one of my pickups for the week. And then the next day, oh, hey, Blackbird's not pitching. So I used one of my acquisitions and the jackass don't pitch.
Stop whining. As long as the Mets win, I don't care about your stupid fantasy league.
What? Oh yeah, you like it when you win. You win your money, right?
Maybe they're gonna bring Hauser in for a start.
Hauser.
Hauser.
The Hounder.
Escúchame.
I only like winning. I only like winning in fantasy so that you guys get all upset because I do auto draft.
Has nothing about the money, right? That doesn't upset me. Crazy. That's good. Maybe I should just do that. All right. So all right. So we got that and then before we're back on the air, we'll also have a 3-game set at home against the Nationals. So but we'll start with this weekend series at Philadelphia. What do we think is going to happen? Start with you, Keith.
I had to take a breath because this series, it gives me the feelings in here. It's a big series because we're in the stretch. Philly's a great team. We're a great team, and we have this natural rivalry between the two of us. And there's so many factors involved, including that it's divisional, because NL East division games are, I guess all division games, but especially NL East, they get a little rough sometimes. And I think bottom line is I think we're going to win 2 games this weekend. The reason why I get nervous is because they are a good team and we're in their stadium. So really anything can happen. But historically, the Mets and I know every player is different, but as a team, the Mets have performed offensively really well in Philadelphia. And if we can get the offense going and our pitching continues the path that they're on, we can do some damage. So I'm going with 2 out of 3 because the Phillies do have that kind of offense that they're probably going to pull one out. Their pullout game is on point. So 2 out of 3. Let's go Mets.
All right, Rodriguez. What I made that what I got a little excited about, not the pullout game, but what I got excited about was that I went to go see who the Braves are playing this weekend, and the Braves have a 4-game wraparound series Friday to Monday against the Dodgers.
I know.
I like that.
I know. That's my favorite part of this weekend.
How many games up are the Dodgers? Just a quick thought. I'm trying to look myself, but
who cares?
I'll tell you why I care.
It's they're going to play their guys because the Phillies and the Dodgers are battling out for the best record in baseball to get home field through the World Series. So they're going to play.
Yeah, they're only 5 up, right? And the reason why I was saying I care, Rodriguez, is like for what Farace was saying, if they're going to play their main guys or not, if they're going to go soft on the Braves or not.
They can't play soft against a team that they could potentially meet in the playoffs.
Or did you see that Greg Maddux thing? You watched that Greg Maddux, or did you send the Greg Maddux video where, or might have been producer Joe, but he sent it. Somebody sent it. Somebody sent
where he pitches one way in June, then he pitches the next way in September.
Yeah, well,
but there's nobody like Greg Maddux there.
He purposely threw the dude a fastball in that he turned on, and Javi Lopez. Eddie Perez, I don't know. I don't remember the catcher, but
the catcher,
anyway,
the scrubby catcher.
Anyway, he said, like, what are you doing? He said, we're going to see that guy. We're going to see this team in the playoffs. And then he reminded the catcher in the playoffs when he struck out whoever the guy was on 3 pitches, 3 changeups on the outside, probably 6 inches outside, and called strikes.
I highly doubt that there's anyone
top 10 best pitchers of all time. I hate to say that, but it's really true. I mean, the guy was.
Well, you shouldn't hate it. He really is. He really is in the top 10. I mean, he was a pitcher.
Amazing pitcher.
All right, so while the Mets are playing, the Phillies, this is a playoff matchup potential weekend for just MLB in general. Braves and Dodgers, Mets and Phillies going on. So while the Mets are playing the Phillies, Braves are playing the Dodgers. While the Mets play the Nationals, the Braves will be playing the Reds. Okay, so it's kind of even keel there. Then the Braves play the Mets. Braves play the Marlins after that, then the Mets, and then they finish up with the Royals. So they have a couple of series that they should be winning, and then the Royals are just a game and a half up in the wild card. So to Keith's point, they're still battling, probably still battling till the last weekend of the series. F you, Braves. God, this is all that we could have asked for, right? This is all that we could have asked for. Be right in there. We never thought that we'd be even mentioned in the conversation for the division, but you got that little sliver of hope. You're 8 games back. You got 7 games against that opponent, so it still should be in the back of your mind while you're winning and then getting further ahead in this wild card spot. Let's grab that first wild card spot so that we can play the Diamondbacks at home with the raucous city crowd just going insane.
Win every game. Okay. 2 out of 3 from the Phils.
Just win, baby.
Since you didn't
ask, you got 2 out of 3 for the Phillies? 2 out of 3 for the Phillies?
We can beat Nola. We can beat Nola, and then whoever else comes in, we can steal a game. But I don't like playing in the little stadium, although it favors us because we do hit very well there. I don't like a little stadium. I would prefer to be at home, but we really have to win all 3 games, but 2 out of 3, it'll still give us a chance to be in the playoffs.
And then Keith, I'm just going right back to you because I want to look up the Diamondbacks schedule too. What do you think about at home?
They're playing the Brewers. They're playing the Brewers.
Okay.
They're playing the Brewers. That's right. Which is good for us.
Producer Joe.
But the Mets at home against the Nationals. You know what's funny? I worry more about a series against the Nationals than I do the Phillies because I feel like the Mets relaxed, but they haven't done that this year, especially not in the last 75 days or whatever it is. So I think if I'm putting my money down, I'm taking 2 out of 3, but I really think we can sweep them.
Yeah.
I think we can sweep them. But if
The
I'm putting money
Nationals?
down, I'm going to do 2 out of 3 just because the odds are 2 out of 3. The Nationals are they're a major league team. They're not like the Marlins or the White Sox, and they can eke one out. But and by the way, White Sox keep losing, baby. Take that record away from us.
That's it. We're going to be doubly as happy getting to the playoffs and watching our record go, bye-bye. And double, worse for the White Sox. There's an established team. That was our first year in an expansion draft. So before we get to Rodriguez on the Nationals, the Padres have probably the roughest of all the schedules, even though there's a soft spot in there. They play at the Giants, then they play 3 against the Astros. The soft spot is the White Sox, which let's go White Sox. Hey, if it's the record versus playoffs, let's go White Sox, right? Then to finish the season, 33 win, 33 of them things. To finish the season, they're at the Dodgers and at the Diamondbacks. So the Padres might find themselves on the outside looking in by the end.
Good.
I mean, I would love the first wild card spot, and it's completely attainable. I think we're only 2 games out of the top spot.
Keith, first place is attainable in the East. First place is attainable. Whether we get it or not,
now it's the exact same thing as 2007 or 8, right? It's 8 games out with 17 to play, except for we're on the reverse side. This is where the baseball gods.
Don't talk about
this
that.
is where the baseball gods, makeup call, right? You get the makeup call, the umpire, my bad. I'll call a strike next pitch. This is baseball gods' way of 17 years later. It's the exact same positioning, but reversed. Mets are 8 out with 17 to play. Mets were 8 up with 17 to play back then, and you know what happened. So it's makeup time. That's all I'm saying.
You can say whatever you want to say, but I don't go for that nonsense. I'm just saying,
right.
beat everybody. The Nationals, we got to take it.
Just whoever that team has. It's like we have the Hulk. We have Lindor. In Lindor, we trust.
Exactly, and we also have a pretty big polar bear right behind Lindor, ready to break up and go
needs to get hot.
I mean,
hey, what better time, Keith? What better time than right now? To just rake off 11 bombs in the next.
He can do
17
it.
games.
He's that kind of player.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to say that and probably the Alvarez shot, and of course the Lindor home run were huge. But that sac fly by Pete Alonso in that game yesterday was pretty key. Also, I mean. Getting up there with a runner in scoring position and hitting a deep fly, that's important. That's a big-time important job for a major league hitter that sometimes gets overlooked, and it shouldn't be overlooked. So maybe that's a little bit of a sign that he's starting to control the bat a little bit more. Hopefully it wasn't a fluke because once he starts controlling that bat a little bit, he can hit some bombs, man, and some like off-the-wall doubles. I want to start seeing that. It would make me comfortable as a Met fan to know he's starting to do that.
We'll do it just for you, Keith. Just for you, Keith.
Yes.
All right. I think we covered. I got 2 out of 3 against the Phillies just because I believe this team is pulling out all the stops right now. Yet the hitting is slumped, but the pitching picked us up. In the past, remember, everything has gone to shit at once, right? It was like in May. So
Tom said, don't talk about 2017 no more.
What happened in 2017?
Was it when we blew the 8-game lead?
No, that was 2007. Maybe 2017 is when we left Syndergaard in a little too long in the 9th inning against the Giants in the wild card game.
Speaking of Syndergaard, anyway.
Wait, no, we're not mentioning him on this. All right. So let's do a little round robin here on the way out. Keith, what you got, sir?
I got a lot, but I'll keep it short.
So about 15, 20? we'll take a snooze.
Yeah, this is going to be. I'm gathering myself because I want to burst out and yell and scream and punch the camera off to my monitor.
Oh wait, Rodriguez falling asleep with you now?
No, I'm not falling asleep. I'm just resting because when he says that, he really means I'm just going to talk for another 20 minutes. So
He's
we're
like,
resting.
he's getting comfortable.
He does it every. I'm just
going.
getting comfortable, just in case I need a pillow.
Are you guys done? I'm just right here. You tell me when you're done.
Relax.
Yeah. So all you guys blabbering nonsense aside, I just wanted to go ahead and collect myself because I usually will scream, yell, try to punch the camera off my monitor, punch my desk when I do this for this particular player. I have a real, true dislike for this particular player. I might even change the channel when this particular player comes to bat this weekend. And that particular player's name is, first of all, he won a championship for the Nationals. He has long hair. He's mostly a DH. What's his name again? Oh, yeah, Harper. Screw you, Harper. Flukata. I hope you suck all weekend. I hope you go 0 for whatever you're batting. I hope you suck. I hope you don't get a walk. I hope you don't get a hit. I hope you cry. I hope you break bats. And I hope you just suck. Did I say I want you to suck? Because you should suck, Harper. But, where I'm at.
Pumped. Rodriguez, what you got here on the way out, sir?
I agree with Keith. Wakata, that guy, the whole team, the whole plays. I don't care. Hits people in the head. I don't care. Let's have a brawl. Let's just have fun.
Let's do it.
Fun. Let's just have a fun couple of seasons, couple of weeks
fight.
that we have left. And make a push for the playoffs. It's important to beat the Phillies, the Filthies. Brian Holmes sucks. It's
Más
important to beat them, and it's also more important to beat the Braves. And so we have a good couple of weeks coming. Guys, let's just enjoy it and have fun because I didn't expect to be in the playoffs after the first 2 months. And I know you guys were doubting a little bit too because it was pretty rough. So we're in the
but
we're
the
in the
ultimate
playoff
doubter
hunt.
was producer Joe. Remember we played the video back.
That's
he
fair.
wasn't having it.
He wasn't having it. Yeah. So we're good, man. Let's go, Max.
Real quick, Farace, before you jump
Keith,
in,
you already said your last word.
I was just going to say
real quick.
Yes, real quick. After that win in Toronto yesterday, I'm like Evil Knievel. When you pull the toy, you pull the string, and he just went. I'm going now. There's no more just enjoying. Now we need to win and destroy.
Yeah, that's facts. Man, this is exactly what we wanted at the beginning of the season. This is what we wanted last year. This is what we want as Mets fans every single year. Just be in it.
Be competitive.
I just hate myself with the Evil Knievel toy. Yeah, I did.
Maybe. I thought we'd be, in the neighborhood of 6 to 8 games over, 14 games over 500 after being 11 games under a 25-game swing. For those of you a little slow in math, this team has given us, the hope that we have for the future. Now, if this team, as it is right now, can make it to the playoffs and make it out of that wild card round, maybe make some noise in the next series, and maybe not get to the championship series or the World Series, but think about that message that sends to the rest of these top end free agents, aka Mr. Soto and what's his name, Corbin Burns from Baltimore. I know I'm thinking ahead here, but this is what starts to go in their minds that, damn, this team was supposed to punt. This team wasn't supposed to really do anything this year. They were supposed to test out the kids, and the kids performed well. The vets performed well. The captain, the unnamed captain, Lindor, has stood up talking, MVP talk. And now Soto's like, damn, what would that team look like with me in right field?
It's going to look really good. A lot better than with Sterling Marte.
Yes. Yes, that is very true. But all right, so that'll do it for us tonight. Go watch football. Good game on, Bills and Dolphins coming up. But let's go Mets. We'll keep you updated on everything that goes on in Metsville.
Let's do this.
Oh, look at that. We broke that out. All right. That does it for us. Peace out, everybody. And let's go Mets. Screw you, Filthies. And screw you, Brian Hom. Sucks.
Put it in the box.